All right. By the way, Brian, good job. We're going to tell folks what's happening in just a moment. In the meantime, 16 minutes now after the top of the hour, created to respond to the war on terror after September the 11th, the Department of Homeland Security has dealt with national threats and responded to devastating natural disasters, as we have seen. But for 3 months now, the federal department responsible for protecting the homeland is functioning without a leader in sight. Brian and I were talking about this earlier. Here to weigh in now, Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson Jr. And Brian had the observation, okay, Napolitano's out of the picture. Where's the next person?
Well, she's been out of the picture for months. She announced in July she was leaving to go to the University of California. She formally left in early September, apparently left even before that. And so there's been no discussion emanating from the White House, except for a couple little stories. They said, well, we tried to find somebody and we couldn't. But the Department of Homeland Security, 240,000 people strong, created by President Bush after 9/11, bringing 22 federal agencies together, immigration, Secret Service, our border protection, FEMA when there's national emergencies like Sandy. Rudderless, leaderless, and the two people that are leading it now are acting. They haven't been permanently confirmed by the Senate. So it's incredible, and all this tumult about the government shutdown and sequesters and the like. This has been the missing quotient big time in this country. You talk about essential services. Why hasn't the White House, why hasn't the president appointed a head of the Department of Homeland Security? The third biggest agency and arguably one of the most important for our future here every day in this country.
Well, you know what, Peter, you go back a year and this administration, while trying to get reelected, was talking about how we got Al-Qaeda on the run, it's on its heels, stuff like that. You fast forward, one of our news items earlier today was the fact that it sounds like there's been some dry runs on future terror attacks, perhaps.
Well, part of it, you're absolutely right, and part of it is the mainstream media, it says, well, we're going to ignore this. We're going to focus on Cruz and Rand Paul and the Tea Party and Boehner and the Republicans. But something as essential, something as basic as this, preserving the homeland and our security and all these various agencies, there is no person that's been appointed by the president to run it.
Have they offered it to anybody?
Well, by reports, it's been offered to one person who turned it down, allegedly a second person whose identity, but some great people have been talked about.
Sure.
Ray Kelly has been talked about, the police commissioner in New York City.
He would be fantastic.
Other people have been talked about in this position, but this is not a position we should be talking about. This is a position we should be filling today in America. This is not a matter of false outrage. This is a matter of how we live in this country and whether we feel safe and can we respond in an effective way to the natural and the man-made emergencies that we'll face. And we will face these things every day, and they're supposed to respond. Without a leader, how do they respond effectively? They can't. They absolutely can't.
It's very troubling that there would be a help wanted sign outside the Secretary's office there at Homeland Security, but there is. Peter, thanks for bringing this to our attention.
Craigslist to the rescue.